welcome Savage Acres. My name is Cayenne and I'm a gardener here in Montana, Zone 5A. Today we're in the greenhouse. So we had this greenhouse built and delivered actually on Memorial Day. It's a custom greenhouse by Frontier Rustic Designs. They are a local company here to Montana, but they do actually ship all over the US. They did an amazing job with this greenhouse, and I want to talk a little bit about why we chose to go with this one. If you are in the market to buy a greenhouse, you have seen all price ranges, all kinds of materials, and you have to decide what kind of aesthetic and material you want your greenhouse to be in, your budget, and the size. So for us, we are in a very specific situation with very extreme weather. We have a lot of high winds, lots of snow, lots of hail. So a glass greenhouse was not in the book for us because we would have to replace any broken glass so often that it didn't really make sense for us. And we also wanted a more rustic greenhouse to go with the aesthetic here in the ranch. So first off, we wanted a rustic greenhouse and we did not want glass. Second, budget. I did look all of those kits where they ship you the greenhouse in pieces and you put it together. It all depends on your budget. We needed to have a structure that was going to be heavy, heavy enough where the wind could not blow. So with that being the case, there weren't a lot of options that were going to be heavy enough unless you had the greenhouse person, company bring it in for you already built, which is how we had this greenhouse. They brought the greenhouse already built here and just put it down on site, which was great because putting a greenhouse together, sometimes I read a few reviews where the things are not completely tight enough, so you get more cold air in. So we didn't want to go through the trouble of doing all that. Ended up with a structure that did not keep heat efficiently. So if you are in a less extreme weather, more in the south, maybe that's a more that's not a concern for you. But we are zone 5A, but it can be kind of 4B too because we are high elevation. The amount of snow, the amount of wind that we get here is completely different than when you go down to the valley. So I kind of have to keep those things in mind for my specific climate. And the third thing is size. We were able to actually go to the store and tour a few greenhouses and kind of figure it out which size would be the best one for us. We ended up with an 8 by 14, so it's 8 feet wide and 14 feet long greenhouse, and it's perfect. We have right now, this week, I built a raised bed for here, the first one, and I'm gonna be building today the second raised bed on this side. So the raised bed is a 2 by 10. So I get about 20 square feet to work with on each. So that's 40 square feet inside of the greenhouse, plus anything that I can, put it on pots around. So that's great. I was able to plant 10 tomatoes in this raised bed that is already done. I also added basil, onions, marigold, nasturtium, and I did popping garlic. I know this is not a time that you plant garlic. Normally you would plant in the fall, November, but I wasn't here in November and I couldn't have planted garlic, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna order it, and see how it goes. You know, is it gonna bulk up? Maybe it might take longer. We'll see. It's kind of like an experiment. So um, we're gonna have the second raised bed right here, and I also had the team. So I wanted a potting table that was a little bit different than the style that they had there. Um, I saw this live edge slab of wood at Dalesford in England, and I really love how rustic it was, and also it fit the aesthetic of that I'm going here with the rustic side. So I sent a few pictures to their team at Frontier Rustic Designs, and they were able to build it for us. So we actually had them do a table and a shelf, and the legs for the shelf and the table is from wood here from the ranch. So that's pretty cool, and I absolutely love it. It looks so nice. You know, it's nice to the eye. Besides being functional, which this greenhouse is kind of my little playhouse. I want it to be functional. That's the top one, number one priority. But I also want it to look cute in a space that it's gets my creative juices flowing, and I like to come and spend time here. I'm just so happy and excited that we actually have this greenhouse. And one of the reasons why we needed a greenhouse is, like I said, this morning was 34 degrees outside. It's June 1st. So at nighttime it was 34 degrees. This morning I think it was 34, and then the sun came out and has been warming up a little bit more. It's about 40 degrees here in the greenhouse right now. I have not been heating the greenhouse. The tomatoes are doing fine. And the plants are protected from all the wind, the frost. There was frost outside this morning. So they're doing just fine. They are not needing any heat. And we're supposed to get on the low of the 40s this week. So I did buy a Green Palma electric greenhouse heater and fan, which I will be using it, later in the season. But for right now, I don't think I need. This is one of the reasons why you would have a greenhouse, is so you can get things on the ground, you can get your plants growing before the weather is ready outside. Our days here are very extreme. Some days, this week we got snow a little bit in the morning. Last week we got a foot of snow. So, and it's end of May now, beginning of June. And I had all these plants here all inside of my laundry room growing since March. And they're just happy to be in the heat, because even though in the house it's heated, and I did have the lights above, growing lights, I saw a difference of my plants when I put them in the greenhouse. I don't know if the heat is more efficient, the light, I don't know what it is, but the plants just plumped up, which is really great. And I do have a lot of things that need to be going out but cannot go out yet. After speaking with a few local people, they said that last year it was June 17th and they got a hard frost. So in that case, I still have about 17, 20 days maybe before I can put anything outside safely. I do have a frost cover in case after that something happens. I'm gonna keep an eye on the weather and kind of figure it out how I can get things out. I don't even have the raised beds outside yet, so they're gonna stay here a little bit longer until we get those done, and then I can put them out. We'll see how this season goes. I was not able to get any, spring crops or anything like that, because this is our first year in this property, so we're having to build everything from scratch. All the structures, all the gardens, everything. So it's been a lot of work. Plus, we're we got chickens and we had to build a chicken coop and all this stuff. So um, it's just a lot going on for the first year, which is kind of normal if you're starting from scratch, a brand new project. Um, but it's exciting, you know. Next year, I'm sure I'm gonna be able to start things earlier and be more organized and be able to get more stuff. But I'm very happy with what I have this year. I have flowers and also veggies. I'm gonna have 10 tomatoes on this one and 10 tomatoes on this one, which it should probably be enough for our family. But I did start other tomatoes a little later to go outside, just because I want to make a lot of preserve a lot of tomato sauce. We eat a lot of tomato products here, tomato sauce, tomato paste, salsa, you name it. It's just I love tomatoes, right? And I really want to have a lot for fresh eating too, because there's nothing better than the homegrown tomato. And I'm trying new varieties this year. So okay, guys, so here we are. This first raised bed that I did is all planted up. I have 2 Marmande tomatoes, 2 Costoluto Genovese, 2 orange accordion, 2 San Marzano, and 2 mushroom baskets. So it's 10 tomatoes plus basil, onions, garlic, marigold, and nasturtium. And then now we're gonna go build the second one. Come with me. So I'm going to use landscape fabric to put on the bottom of the raised bed, as you can see here. So it will help hold the soil in without needing to put up a floorboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and staple that in, and then I will add soil to it. So here is the second raised bed done. On this one I have Mormonde, Costoluto Genovese, orange accordion, San Marzano, mushroom basket, and then I also have Kentucky beefsteak and 2 heirloom tomatoes. So 10 tomatoes total, plus 3 bell peppers, orange bell peppers, onions, and we're good to go. Happy summer, happy June, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.